Hey, I'm Mommp, and I motivate people to redirect their mind and accomplish goals. All right, let's get into it. Every time I start something new, things always come to my mind. I know exactly where these things come from. And sometimes it may seem impossible for me to get these things out of my head. But I know exactly where these things come from. And my answer to myself is childhood beliefs. That's exactly where it comes from. You see, I have a long story of every time I want to try something new, negativity always seems to just lash at me. All these things play in my head. You can't accomplish this. You're not going to learn that. You're going to fail at this. How are you going to motivate people across the world and you're not the same person every day? A lot of these things come across my mind. And it seems like every time when it's time to learn something new, it's like my mind says, how are you going to learn that? That is going to be hard for you to achieve once you go back and go the easy way of selling drugs. I basically grew up in a neighborhood where there was gangbangers, violence, people fighting each other, people wanting to attack each other, and a lot of drug dealing. Even my daddy sold drugs. So I always had a belief of selling drugs, and I always thought that was the only way that I was going to ever make it in life. I always thought that was the only way that I was going to have money. And I didn't really picture myself having a 9-to-5 because of my belief, selling drugs. So when it came to me wanting to start a career or even finding a job, I didn't believe in that because of my childhood beliefs and everything that I believed in when I was just a little kid. And pretty much that's all I seen was people sell drugs, exchange drugs for money. And the people who sold drugs, they had all the things that I wanted. They had the cars, the jewelry, the clothes, the women. So I always thought, how can I get my hands on those things? And voila, selling drugs. That's what I always believed in. And when it came to my personal life, that actually slowed me down in accomplishing things. Every time I try something new, every time I want to learn something to take me to the next step, why are you doing this? Why don't you just go sell drugs and make easy money? That's the way you're going to get what you want. When it was time for me to learn something new, things came across my mind. Hey, you're stupid. You're dumb. How you going to learn this? You don't remember anything. You don't even remember what happened yesterday. You don't remember what happened last week. How you going to remember the things that you need to learn? You can't. It's no way. So why don't you go back to do what you know? And those type of things affected me heavily. And that took a big impact on my life. Every time I find my path, I find my way, and as soon as I begin it, everything can just be running smooth. Then next thing you know, I find myself liking what I'm doing. So as soon as I find myself liking what I'm doing, here comes the negativity. How are you going to maintain this? And you're not the same person every day. How are you going to do this same thing every single day and maintain it and create a lifestyle off of this and create success off of this if you're not the same person every day? Because I used to wonder why I can't be that same person I was yesterday. And that has something to do with me waking up the next day and finding myself being a totally different person. So therefore, I didn't believe that I could maintain whatever it is that I wanted to maintain. And that was a job, that was a career, and that was success. But how can I maintain this if old beliefs still coming up in my mind? You're not the same person every day. Every day you wake up, you're a totally new person. And that person that you wake up to may not want to do this. I used to wonder why I couldn't be that same person I was yesterday. And that would literally slow me down from wherever it is that I wanted to pursue in. So I started noticing this, and I'm like, wow, this been happening all my life. This needs to stop now. As soon as something goes wrong, it makes me feel like this is not going to work out for me. And that's the way I used to feel. I used to always want to try new things. I was a truck driver at a point in time. And while I was truck driving, those same thoughts came across my mind. You're not the same person every day. How you going to maintain this? And even when something goes wrong at work, I used to think, this is not going to work out for me. So I didn't believe myself in being a truck driver. And one day I actually got into a wreck. And this was a year and a half in my truck driving career. And when I got into that wreck, the first thing that came to my mind, why is this happening to me? And I did not know what to do. You see, those old childhood beliefs really affect us along the way, all the way until we become adults. And being an adult and having those same beliefs replaying in your mind over and over again, you may not know how to react to those things. But I call that negative. So when we find these negative things, we always have to find positivity out of them. You see, it's a reason why these things are playing in your mind. I say this, maybe because it's something that you need to work on. And that is absolutely the answer. Because yesterday, I was making a YouTube video and I had trouble. Things come in my mind as, how is this going to work for you? Why are you doing this? I even tried to find an excuse to not do it. And then here comes the trouble. And then my mind, those old beliefs, this is not going to work for you. Do something different. Well, here it is. A whole nother day later, I'm making a new video. And I'm here sharing this with you guys because it is very important. Because I know I'm not the only person that is going through this. Hit that thumbs up button if you're going through this. Comment below, I'm going through this BS. Because we are all not perfect. So every day, a challenge might come to us. And how are you going to react to that challenge? That's something that you have to ask yourself. Now, with me growing up, I always had people in my ear. I had dreams, and with me telling people about my dreams, they always say, yeah, whatever. Boy, stop. You're not going to do that. Hell no, I can't see you doing that. Oh, man, you tripping. But I wasn't tripping. But with people saying that to me really made me believe I couldn't accomplish those things. So, redirecting my mind is very important because those old childhood beliefs are still here with me until these days. And now, I have to take control of my mind. And I feel like everybody in the world can do the same. That's why it's a lot of bull crap going on around the world because nobody is redirecting their mind. Everybody is believing those old beliefs. Just because you may grew up here doesn't mean you have to be that same person today. There's always room for change. And when I mention change, I mean change in your mind. You see, before you change anything else, you have to change your mind. So redirecting and reprogramming your mind is very important. So how can we get through this? The first thing, the number one thing on my list is meditate. The second thing on my list is create affirmations and say daily affirmations. The third thing on my list is look for positivity. Every time we turn on the television, every time we log into our phones, you may see something negative. You may see a rich person, or you may see somebody that you think look better than you. But is it true? Or is it something that's made up in your mind that you believe? When those things come to your mind, please do not feed into it, because it is not really you. It is the old beliefs that you've been carrying since childhood. And you always wanted to be this person that you see on television or when you log into your phone. And with you not being that person, here comes the old beliefs. You will never be that. You can never look like that. You can never be rich. But childhood trauma is a real thing. And with these traumas that we have during our childhood, it can last all the way until the day we dead. But when we redirect our mind, when those childhood beliefs come upon you, you have the power to redirect it. So when these childhood beliefs come to my mind and I want to redirect myself, just like yesterday, my mind said, this is not going to work for you. And I redirected my mind saying, everything is going to work for me. So now I have a new affirmation that everything is going to work for me. So if I want to redirect my mind, I have to write it down on a piece of paper. And every day I have to read it. And after I said to myself, everything is going to work out for me, I was so happy. I was so excited. I was so amazed, because I'm like, wow, I've been carrying this belief all my time. And now I have been given the chance to redirect my mind. And ever since then, everything been working perfectly fine. And as many times that old belief played in my head all of this time, I said that to myself at least over 100 times. Everything is going to work out for me. Because you really have to tell your mind, hey, this is what I'm saying to you. Everything you say and put upon me does not matter. So now I am redirecting you that, hey, everything is going to work for me. Now do me a favor. If you are having these problems, redirect your mind. Use the advice that I have given to you. Take the steps that I took to redirect my mind, because this can be slowing us down in life. So yes, I am giving you the confirmation to redirect your mind, because we all have a second chance or a third chance or whatever, how many chances to life. As long as we breathing, we still have a chance. So let's redirect our mind today. Peace.
Moving too fast, I'm lost. Looking for me with the cross. Let's pour water like boss. Mama thinking that I'm off.